Yes.
Right, so today we continue our chapter 3, which is financial forecasting and planning. All right, so learning outcome. All right, at the end of the chapter, students should be able to define fund forecasting, 5% of sales method, and cash planning or cash budget. All right, what is financial forecasting? So this one, we have the word forecasting. So we have what we want to know or we are projecting what's going to happen in the future. So we have here future projection of revenue and costs. I determine the fund needed to finance future operation. So we want to forecast how much we need if how many months, how many weeks, another 2 weeks will be Raya, right? So we have to forecast after Raya how much money we need, right? To buy asset, so achieve financial goal. Use financial statement for forecast. So again, we are using the financial statement again, right, to do our forecast. So reason why we need to have forecasting, why we need to do forecasting. First one, to estimate fund, right? Additional fund needed or short form AFN for future operation. So we want to estimate how much money that a company need, right, to operate, right? They are to operate the company. So meaning that we need to prepare the money ahead, right, before it happen. So we cannot wait until it happen then baru kita cari duit. So no. So we need to forecast. If we need money, then we need to go and search for the money, right, first. So estimate firm's cash standing, cash management. We estimate how much cash we need. Right, compare actual performance and again forecast data. This is when it is happening. So we forecast, then we do adjustment if needed, and develop a contingency plan. Meaning this one, when we estimate fund, AFN, whatever, we borrow money, we have prepared everything already, but it is not happen. So develop contingency plan meaning we need to have plan B. Yang ini adalah plan A. Kalau plan A tak percaya, not working, so we need to have plan B, backup. Right, and then how to forecast, right? How to forecast? So kita ada dua. One is fund forecasting, which is today we're going to learn. Then the cash budgeting will be next lah. So we have fund forecasting, pro forma balance sheet, and income statement. So we need to create two statements, which is balance sheet and income statement, right? So this is today we're going to learn. So fund forecasting, so we have percent sales method, right? This is the method that we are using. Right, we call it percent, guna peratus, to help us to create right, the forecasting. So estimate additional fund needed. This one paling penting lah. Kita nak tahu berapa duit yang kita hendak. Right. Okay. So additional fund needed AFN. This one we need to calculate lah. This is what we need to calculate lah, AFN. Changes in asset, liability, and equity to support in increase in sales. So let's say another week, so adalah dah dekat Raya, normally sales akan increase. Actually, kalau jual baju after Raya, tak ada sales dah. So 1 week before Raya, normally, let's say we talking about sales increase. So we need to forecast if sales increase, what happened to the asset, what happened to the liability, what happened to the equity, how much we need, right? So that the company can run smoothly. So funds are from internal sources, right? Do it there, right? Can be internal sources, the retained earning, remember the retained earning. Current liability, which is we borrow money, retained earning, and current liability or from the external sources, right? Debt and stock, debt and stock, bond and equity. So AFA, when we calculate additional fund needed, we are equal to asset minus liability plus equity, right? Okay, so here, so this is the formula we are using. So we put, okay, here. So pro forma financial position of balance sheet. When you have the word pro forma, meaning yang ini adalah forecast, estimation. Is not real, pro forma. So we have estimate the increase in asset, right, due to increase in sales. Sales increase, what happened to the asset? Asset also will increase. So estimate additional fund needed. So then we have the pro forma, profit and loss segment atau kita panggil dia income statement. So estimate the changes of sales, right? This one increase how many percent? Then we determine the forecasted net profit. Use assumption given. Assumption normally dalam question, dalam question dia akan bagilah the assumption. So you can see ratio, this one ratio we have learned in chapter 2 right? So we just recap back. Why we recap back? Sometime in the question kan you nak calculate interest, dia tak bagi interest, dia bagi time interest earn dengan EBIT. So we need to use the formula to calculate interest, right? So you have to like, kalau question tak bagi interest, dia bagi TIE and EBIT. So you have to count yourself Atau gross profit margin, they give you, they don't give you sales, they give you gross profit margin and gross profit. So you calculate sales. Atau dia tak bagi gross profit, dia bagi sales and the GPM, right? Gross profit margin. Right, same go to operating profit margin. So depend Here we have 3 items, right? Dalam question normally dia akan bagi 2 then you have to find another one, the last one. All right, next we have net profit margin, earning after taxes or net income divided by sales. Dividend payout ratio, dividend divided by net income. Then we have return earning ratio. We have the return earning divided by net income. So we can say that 1 equal to dividend payout ratio plus retained earning ratio, because dia bagi dengan income So 1 equal to ratio, this one will be because this one is 1, so this one is like 0 point something right, which is net income equal to dividend plus retained earning. This one I repeated many times So net income dia ada 2 kegunaan, satu dia untuk bayar dividend, satu lagi dia retain dalam company as retained earning. So next, you can see example, kita buat satu example. So given the balance sheet of Mecca Incorporation in 2020 So yang ini adalah balance sheet yang dibagi. So dia ada current asset, current liability, fixed asset, then we have the long-term debt, common equity. So finally you check total asset 1,300 equal to total claim 1,300. So that both is the same, equal. So the company, right? See, this is the question. The company expect the sales next year will increase by 25%, right? From the current sales of 1,000 200 million. This one ada kosong lah belakang. 1,200 million. Okay, so alright, assumption, this one assumption dia bagi, assumption given. So the projected or pro forma income statement is based on this one. Net profit margin, you can see net profit margin of 12%. So dia bagi net profit margin. So you need to know lah, then you need to know our formula adalah net income divided by sales. Alright, so when you do the question, then if they give you net profit margin, better you write down the information. So biar nampak dia punya item ada net income, sales. Then marginal tax rate of 40%. Then dividend payout ratio of 60%. So kita dah tahu dividend payout ratio adalah 60%. So we know that retained earning ratio adalah 0.4 atau 40%. This one 60% adalah 0.6 0.6 kalau kita bagi dengan 100 So this one is 0.4 0.6 sebab tadi I have let you know, right? 1 equal to depreciation dividend payout ratio plus retained earning ratio. Right, so we know dia bagi ini, so kita tahu yang ini ya. So operating cost is 80% of sales. This one is a cost, expenses, 18% of sales. So the firm is operating at full capacities. Meaning that full capacity adalah semua mesin sudah diguna. So semua mesin beroperate. So no free machine, no free asset. Full cap. So by looking at the pro forma balance sheet, the company needs additional fund, 3,255 million for investment in new asset. Right, 25% multiply with the total asset. Here. Right. Because why 25%? Kita refer back question here stated the sales next year will increase by 25%. This is how dia dapat yang ini. Alright, next we have you are required to prepare the following: pro forma income statement for 2021 and pro forma balance sheet for 2021 as at 2021. So this one question bagi, yang ini semua dia bagi. This one also bagi. This one also given. Then they ask you to create pro forma income statement and the balance sheet. So next, we pro forma financial performance changes. All right. So you can see previous sales in 2020, right? Multiply percent of the increasing of sales expected. So dalam sini in the question given, when we refer back to the question ada bagi 2020 punya sales. So we refer back here. Here lah, this one is the 2020 punya sales is 1,200 million. So you put lah, this one we put million lah, nanti you configure million. Okay, 1,200 darab dengan 25%. So dia akan increase 300 million. Right, 300 million. So new sales in 2021 will be 1,200 plus 300 equal to 1,500 million. Right, 500 million. So or by using the indicator lah, 1 tambah 0.25, 0.25 is the 25% lah. We convert into decimal point. So 1 plus 0.25, then you equal to 1.25. Kalau this one is 30, so this one is 0.3 lah. If 0.5, 50%, then this one is 0.5 lah. So you just dapat 1.25. So new sales for 2021 is 1.25 darab dengan 1,200. So equal to 1,500 million. So after identify the new sales, amount of new sales, right, will transfer. Will transfer to the statement and calculate based on the assumption given. Alright, this is first step, step 1. We calculate the new sales. Alright, so any question? I give you time to copy. Right, if you have done, then you just type done, or you just on your mic say you're done. Then I continue. Or you have any question, you just ask. All right, any question?
No, sir.
Okay, done copy. There are two methods, so you check mana satu you prefer. So they have no wrong or right. Somebody prefer the first one, somebody prefer the second one. But if you have done copy, then you just type done. Then let me know, then I can continue with the next slide. Right, others yang lain done. All right, so we continue. You have done with the new sales, so kita pindah. All right, we remember I asked you to at least you can hafal the profit and loss with your format. So you tulis lah. You write down first one. We start with what? Kalau income statement, first one we start with the sales, right? So you just copy lah. Here. So you just copy the company name, and then you just copy lah the pro forma financial performance of the year ended, atau you write pro forma of the income statement pun boleh, or the profit and loss statements. Right? Okay, so you just try, you copy lah any from question. You can just copy this one. They'll ask you to do right pro forma income statement, right? So, or you just copy this one also can. You just copy here, and then you just put here lah. Also can. Okay. This one only lah. Atau you put pro forma profit and loss statement for the year ended 31st. Okay, sama je. Then you just copy lah. Alright, sales atau revenue, you put sales only pun boleh. You just no need revenue, you just put sales. Then 1,500. So million atas ada 1 million adalah sama dengan 60. So we don't want to tak nak tulis banyak-banyak kosong, so we just put bracket 60 on top lah. Kalau tak ada, we have to write many zero, right? So we just put like this. And then next, operating costs, right? The company expect the sales next year, 2021, will increase by 25%. So from the current sales of 1,200, this is the information given lah. So next we need to next dia punya formatting, you just copy this one lah. I remember, you remember lah this format. Lepas tu ada operating cost kan, minus operating cost. Where is right? This one is minus operating cost, right? And then equal to earning before interest and taxes, right? EBIT. Then you tolak interest equal to EBIT, EBT, earning before taxes. Then you tolak taxes, then you have the earning after taxes atau net income. Then you have less dividend, then we have the retained earning. Okay, so this one you dah hafal, then you just tulis lah. After that, kita cari information operating cost. So we refer back to the question. We cari balik, refer back to the question, tengok dia ada bagi information or not. So you can see here, the projected pro forma income statement is based on this one, right? Net profit margin dia ada bagi, marginal tax rate, dividend, operating cost, you can see here. So operating cost is 80% of sales. So 80% of sales, sila kira new sales, the forecasted sales, jangan ambil yang 1,200. Using the 1,500. So you darab dengan 80%. So berapa you dapat? So then you key in the answer in the message box. $1,500 multiplied by 80%, or you can just multiply by 0.8, right? All right, okay. So we check here betul 1,200 lah. So we are assumption operating cost adalah 80% of sales. So we are using 1,500 darab dengan 0.8. So we get 1,200. So lepas itu kita tolak 1,500 minus, right? We minus 1,200. So berapa kita dapat? So we have 300. Yes, betul. So we get 300. So now we need to cari apa? We need to find the interest. So we need to find the interest. So we refer back to the question. So kita refer back to the question lah. So where is the question? Right from here, ada tak dia bagi interest? Dia ada bagi net profit margin, marginal tax rate, dividend payout, operating cost. So dia tak bagi interest. So if you don't give interest, so we just letak kosong lah, because no information on the interest expense. Alright, kalau dia ada tulis interest, then we just put in lah. Since the question dia tak bagi, right? So just kosong lah. Then earning before in taxes berapa? So we just copy balik lah. We just copy. We just copy. So adalah 300, right? That is 300. Right, lepas tu we calculate less taxes. Taxes, less taxes after that information. So we go back to the question. We cari taxes. So here dia ada bagi marginal tax rate of 40%. Alright, so we use this one 40%. Right, 40% of berapa? Alright, 40% of 300. So 300 darab dengan 0.4. So how much we get? Hmm? 120. All right, so we check, right? So we have marginal tax rate 40%. So we have 120. So after 300 tolak 120, so berapa? So 180, yeah. So 180 is the earning after taxes. So after that, you refer back to a question, dia ada bagi tak dividend berapa, retain earning berapa. Right, so we have 180. Alright, atau tadi question ada bagi, right? Question ada bagi the net profit margin is 12%, right? So you can also use this one, 0.12 equal to net income divided by 6. Right, you can still get the same answer, which is 1,500 darab dengan 0.12. This one just to mungkin you nak double check betul ke tak betul, right? So you will get the same answer lah. This is the ada bagi dalam in the question. So next kita nak cari dividend atau retain earning. So 180 berapa dia bayar sebagai dividend, berapa dia bayar sebagai retain earning. So we refer back lah, we cari, we find any information given or not in the question. Here, dia ada bagi, right? Dividend payout ratio is equal to 60%. Then retain earning adalah 40%. So dividend kita darab lah 180, we multiply by 0.6. Then the retain earning we multiply by 0.4. Then you get already, you have done with the pro forma for income statement. How much is the dividend? And how much is the retained earning? All right, so then we have done with the income statement already lah. Okay, so I give you time to copy. All right, if you have done, then you just stop lah, done. Then we can go for the next one. Right, you have done, copy. Done, copy. Right, okay. So if you have done or you have any question, you can ask. Or any yang tak jelas, also you can ask for this one. All right, so I assume that you know how to calculate. So next, right, okay, now we do the balance sheet. So rules of thumb, keyword, if you want to do a balance sheet, a pro forma balance sheet. So the question, they said if the question said full capacity or full cap, right? Full cap, then current asset will be changed, right? Current asset akan berubah, fixed asset will be changed, current liability, note payable remain, and others change. So long-term liability remain, common stock remain, preferred stock remain, and retained earning we need to calculate. Okay, so now we need to do lah. We need to check. So in the question just now, dia ada bagi is full capacities, right? So we check lah current asset akan berubah. So next we have another keyword is not fully capacity, right? If not fully capacities, so current asset will be changed, fixed asset remain, fixed asset remain, not utilize fixed asset. So current liability, notes payable remain, and others will change. And then long-term liability remain, common stock remain, preferred stock remain, retained earning we calculate. Since question bagi adalah full capacities, so we refer to this one lah, which is ada yang berubah, ada yang tidak berubah. Yang tidak berubah adalah notes payable, long-term liability, common stock, preferred stock. You just remember these four memang tak berubah. Others all change. So you can see here the firm plan to increase the sales by 25%, right? And operating at full capacities. So balance sheet item need to be multiplied, kena darab dengan 1.25, except for long-term debt, notes payable, and common stock. As what we said sini, notes payable dia tak berubah, long-term liability tak berubah, common stock preferred stock tak berubah. So kalau dia ada preferred stock lah, kalau tak ada, no need lah. Okay, so we can see here yang hijau adalah akan berubah. So you can see that notes payable here will not change. This one, this one, they will not change. Notes payable tak akan berubah. And then what else? Long-term debt not going to change. Common equity, common stock not going to change. Okay, so these three will not change. Yang lain, yang in green color, they will change. So yang ini dia tak ada preferred stock, so we just ignore lah. As the question said, kalau ada preferred stock, it still remain lah. So in this question, we check ada 3. So these 3, we don't do, kita tak buat apa-apa perubahan. So we just make changes for yang lain. Alright, or I can say kalau you want to do the balance sheet, first step adalah apa? You copy dulu. You copy the company name, balance sheet, then you copy the item, like current asset, the cash, you copy, account receivable, inventory, copy, total current asset, copy, fixed asset, copy, net fixed asset, copy, total asset, copy, but the number, you jangan letak dulu lah. Same go for current liabilities, you copy, account payable, notes payable, accrued expenses, total current liabilities, long-term debt, common equity, common stock, retained earning, and total claim atau total liability and equity. Okay, so you just copy this one. Then next step 2 adalah apa? Step 2, you just put lah yang note payable, you just copy back 75. Long-term debt, copy back 540. Common stock, copy back 160. So yang ini 3 item which is not going to change. So you just copy back lah. Then only you calculate for others, which is 50 darab dengan 1.25. Right, okay. Okay, so 1.25, this one we explained already lah. Changes of sales, right? So it's 25, 25%. Right? If the question dia tak ada bagi 25%, right? This question dia bagi sales by 25%, right? Dia dah bagi percentage. So we can know that you darab dengan 1.25 lah. But if the question dia bukan bagi dalam percentage, dia bagi dalam figures. They said the new sales is 1,500 new sales. If the question gives you new sales 1,500, right? Then you can calculate lah in percentage. Calculate in percentage. How we calculate the percentage? We are using new sales minus the old sales divided by old sales darab dengan 100 for convert into percentage, right? If you don't want to convert into percentage, then you just no need to multiply by 100 lah. So this is how we calculate the changes of sales and convert into percentage or in decimal point. So indicator changes of item will be 1 tambah dengan 0.25 lah. So if this one is 100, is if they say the new sales is 1,800. So you just letak sini lah 1,800 minus 1,200 divided by 1,200 darab dengan 100. Right, then your indicators will be different. Right, this one to show you kalau question dia tak bagi the 25%. In term dia bagi terus. They say the new forecast adalah 1,500. So this is how you convert into percentage. All right, so next we have, right, okay, so this will be the, the income statement, balance sheet yang given. So this one you need to change, this one. When you copy this one, you copy the company name, balance sheet, you kena tukar jadi pro forma, balance sheet, jadi 21 lah. So as here, you tukar lah. Pro forma financial position, you can just copy lah tadi punya this one. Tukar jadi 21. Apalah, balance sheet. If question give balance sheet, you can just copy lah, no problem. This one tukar 21. And then you copy lah, as I said just now, you just copy yang ini yang dia bagi. So you just copy lah, right? Copy semua, right? You just copy, no problem, just copy. Right, after that, again, as we copy yang tak berubah, ada 4. Note payable, long-term debt, common stock, preferred stock, right? Right, so you identify this one. Note payable, dia tak berubah. Long-term debt tak ubah. Common stock tak berubah. Lagi satu adalah apa? Adalah preferred stock, right? Tapi in this question kita tak ada preferred stock. Right, so and you kena add satu additional fund needed in your performance. Additional fund needed. Bawah retained earning. Bawah retained earning. So you identified already. You copy as I said, you just copy. So just copy back the notes payable 75, long-term debt 540, common stock 160. This one you copy back. Kalau ada preferred stock, you just copy lah, no problem. So now we need to calculate cash. Cash berapa? Siapa boleh calculate? Tadi cash is 50. So 50 darab dengan 1.25. Yang lain pun calculate juga. Alright, so we check lah. So 50 darab dengan 1.25 berapa? Is 62.5, ya, betul. Account receivable pun sama, you calculate, and then you let me know the answer. Alright, so we check account receivable. Right, okay lah, you calculate for inventory and net fixed asset juga lah sekaligus. All darab dengan 1.25 lah, inventory net fixed asset. Inventory, okay, ada orang done, 550. Right, for those who have done, then you just total lah, total cash tambah account receivable tambah inventory tambah net fixed asset. Then you have the total asset. All right, so we check. Okay, so account receivable, we have 137.5. Inventory, 440 multiply 1.25, we have 550. Net fixed asset, we have 700 multiply 1.25, we have 875. So we tambah semua, so we have 1,625. But because for asset, all semua berubah, so we can also using 1,300 darab dengan 1.25. Right, we will be same with 1,625. So after that, you have calculate the total asset, right? So kita ada satu formula which is total asset adalah sama dengan total liability plus equity, right? So 1,625 you copy kat sini. Sebab yang ini dua mesti tally ya. Total claim dengan total asset. So you can copy kat sini. Why? Nanti kita nak calculate AFN, additional fund needed. So after you have done with the asset, then kita pergi account payable. Sama juga account payable you darab dengan 1.25. Right, so you calculate account payable. And then accrued expenses pun can calculate lah. Retained earning also can calculate. Right, others also calculate, yeah. If you have problem, you can just ask. Right, I tak nampak muka you pun. So don't be shy. If you have question. Right, others please calculate also. Right, others also done, calculate. All right, so I hope you have calculated. So we have here account payable, which is 50 multiply 1.25. We have 62.5. So the notes payable remain
accrued expenses 75 darab dengan 1.25. We have 93.75. Then long-term debt remain, common stock remain, right? Retained earning. Retained earning, you all put 500. So retained earning is based on the calculation. Previously kita ada calculate, right? So we mana retained earning here. Retained earning, so we can check here. New retained earning is based retained earning 0 plus retained earning current retained earning. So we can see here the retained earning formulas. Here we have net income minus dividend. This one is the retained earning, which is the net income equal to retained earning tambah dividend kan. So we rearrange back, which is using this one. Net income equal to dividend plus retained earning. Okay. Then another one we have net income. Net income equal to net profit margin darab dengan sales. This one's about question ada bagi net profit margin lah. Alright, so then we can calculate the net income. If the net income not given, kalau net income tak given, so we can use this method to calculate net income. So when we expand, we kembangkan formula. So net income adalah here we have the sales, right, darab dengan NPV 1 minus dividend payout ratio. Okay. So this one adalah formula. You don't need to remember this one. You just remember this one. Okay. Right, we have the old retained earning. The kosong adalah old retained earning tambah new sales. Right, and then we have darab dengan net profit margin 1 minus dividend payout ratio. So okay, so given this one is given. Given net profit margin dalam question dia ada bagi net profit margin 12%, dividend payout ratio 60%, new sales is 1,500. Ya, ini kita calculate lah 1,500. Previous retained earning adalah 400. This one also given dalam balance sheet. So you just masukkan lah. Retained earning, previous punya retained earning adalah 400, masuk sini. Tambah sales 1,500 masuk. Net profit margin 0.12. This one you need to convert into decimal point yang percentage. Right, then 1 minus dividend payout ratio. Right. Alright, so you try to key in into the calculators, berapa dapat. Alright, so you get 472. Alright, so you have 472. So you gonna calculate this one first lah. Right, you calculate this one. Right, so we have 400 tambah 72. So we have 472. Okay. Alright, done, copy. Done, so you have done, then you just copy yang ini ya, 472 masuk ke sini based on calculation retained earning. So 472, lepas tu you just using 1625 tolak semua. Minus all, then you have your additional fund needed. All right, so we check. So we are using $1,625 minus right, the total liability and equity. So kita dapat 221.75. All right, okay. So then this one done, huh? Anybody want to copy? All right, so we check. Then you just letak kat sini lah. 221.75. Okay, so we have done already, no? Finish. So this is how you answer the question. Do the pro forma for income statement dengan balance sheets. Right, I'll give you time for those yang nak copy. You can copy. If you have done, then you let me know. Done. All right, if you have done, then we continue. All right, okay, so this one is, so we know that they need this one, 221.75, right? 221.75. So now we have the cash, we have the forecast. So second step, we need to know the how much we need. Okay, so we need to find the changes. Why we need to find the changes? So you can see here cash kita ada forecast and initial, yang ini adalah from the old punya. So this one is what we forecasted. So you need to cari changes. Changes we are using forecasted tolak minus right the 2020 punya. So 62.50 we minus 50, we have 12.5. So for account receivable, we have 137.5 minus 110, we have 27.5. Then we have inventory, 550 minus 440, we have 110. And then total current asset, we have 750 $600, we have 150. Then net fixed asset, we have 875 minus 700, we have 175. So same goes to the total asset. So we have 1,625 minus 1,030. So increase by 325 lah. Atau you can just tambah kat sini. 12.5 tambah 27.5 plus 110 plus 150 plus 175 should be equal to 325, right? 25. Now we check for account payable. We have 62.5, right? Minus 50, we have 12.5. So for net payable, unchanged. Accrued 93.75 minus 75, we have 18.75.
Total current liabilities, we have 231 minus 0.25 minus 200. Long term, this one semua tak berubah. This one long-term debt, common stock, right? So it's not changing. So retained earning other increase, which is 472 minus 100, we have 72. Okay, so here we have the additional fund needed lah. Here, this one for the 2020 kita tak ada. This is the additional fund needed adalah tu yang kita we need lah. We need, this is the amount that we need. So you can see here investors minus initial sources, right? Internal sources. So internal sources ada referring to the here lah yang bawah, not the atas one, which is 100, which is the green color here, internal sources. Right, the retained earning ada internal sources, accrued expenses, internal sources, and account payable. Right, account payable. So this one is internal sources. Okay, then we have the investment minus the internal sources lah. The investment will be atas punya, which is we invest. Kita invest in account receivable inventory lah, 325 minus. Okay. Okay, so this is how we calculate internal sources lah, right? And the investment. So another, this one kita guna, this one when we ask to calculate, this one kalau question ask you to calculate using what financial, using the balance sheet lah. So kita kena calculate lah, then we find the additional fund needed. There are another method is they are using formula, guna formula, right? Formula to count AFN. So you no need to copy this one, everything calculate satu, and then finally you calculate the additional fund needed. They are come up with a formula, which is this formula is very look very complicated. All right. Okay. So formula dia AFN equal to SA kosong. What is SA kosong? Is an amount of spontaneous asset that vary with sales. Meaning kalau sales berubah, so dia akan sama-sama ikut spontaneous. Bertindak secara langsung. Sale increase, dia the item also will change. Alright, so we call it as spontaneous, amount of spontaneous asset that is vary with sales. Alright, and then we have SO, current sales. This one segi tiga adalah changes, perubahan of sales, changes of sales. Then we have this one SLO is what? Amount of spontaneous liability that is vary with sales. Meaning liability yang sales berubah, liability juga berubah. SO is the current sales. Changes of sales minus S1. S1 is projected total sales for the following period. This one adalah sales yang kita forecast, which is the 1,500. 1,500. Net profit margin. 1 minus dividend payout ratio minus depreciation plus OF, right? Others investment requirement. Kalau tak ada lah. All right. So you can see that here we have the amount of spontaneous asset that is very with sales kan, sales berubah. So yang inilah 1,300. Sebab sales berubah, cash berubah, account receivable akan change, inventory will change, fixed asset also, net fixed asset also change. So this will be the figures lah. Okay. So we have this one 1,200. So you just replace. The sales is 1,200 lah. This one in the question given. Right. Changes will be 300 because we have calculated kan yang forecasted is 1,500. Minus the 1,200 adalah 300 perubahan sales. Okay, so you just put in the S1 pun boleh letak, this one put letak lah. You can just put in Change of sales sama loh 300, right? Right, this part we done already. Now we go to this part. Right, spontaneous liability this one liability. Kalau sales increase, liability juga berubah. So we check kat sini. Okay, this one yang tadi lah. Kita calculate yang 1,500, which is the what S1 lah S1. Okay, this one lah. Next we go to the amount of spontaneous liability. So liability yang berubah apabila sales increase. So we check balance sheets. Yang ini dua lah akan berubah. Account payable and accrued expenses, which is 50 tambah 75. These two one, yeah. Notes payable unchanged, remember. Long term debt pun unchanged, so only these two lah. This one is what? Liability kan? So we only refer to liability, spontaneous liability, which is the current liability and long-term debt. So ikutkan only account payable dengan accrued expenses yang akan berubah. Okay, so we have 50 tambah 75, 125 lah. So we just put 125. X0, copy 1,200. Changes 300. Alright, then S1 adalah sales 1,500 lah tadi. 1,500. Net profit margin ada bagi 12%, which is 0.12. Minus 1 dividend payout ratio, which is 0.6. This one dividend payout 0.6. Alright, so we just replace lah kat sini. So the depreciation and the others financing tak ada lah, kosong. Why? If you refer back to sini kat the income statement tak ada depreciation expenses, so no lah. Alright, and then for the what? Other expenses requirement pun tak ada. Alright. Okay, so you key into your calculators. See what you get. Test whether you know how to key into your calculators or not. Right, so you key into the calculators. Alright, so it's 335 minus 31.25 minus 72. So we get 221.75 lah. Right, which is the same one with the the pro forma that we are using on the balance sheets, right? Okay, 221.75. All right, so I give you time to copy for those who want to copy. All right, done already. Right, done. All right, done. Right, we have done for part 1. We have another part 2. So part 2 we reserve for next class, which is Thursday lah. All right, any question before I stop? Hello.
No, sir.
All right, so we check attendance. All right, so we check attendance for today. Okay, so today is full attendance. So if you have no questions, then I'll stop here for today's. For assignment, do you have any question you want to ask? If you have no question to ask, then I'll stop here already. Thank you, and then I'll meet you again on Thursday. Thank you, and bye-bye.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.